Hi, you're watching EAC Insight. I'm your host, Anthony Ellis. Thanks for joining me. Today's guest was a political activist. He's also been the ambassador to Cambodia for 3 years, has a lot of history on things he had done with Timor-Leste. So I'd like to introduce Ambassador for Timor-Leste, Ambassador Lopez. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So you've been in politics and activist for over 30 years, ambassador to Cambodia, coming up to 3 years now. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, thank you. First of all, I would like to extend my gratitude for yourselves, for your heartfelt and kind and to come and interview as ambassador in Timor-Leste to the Kingdom of Cambodia. Myself, I'm come from the village man. Then I started, grew up in the village, then come to the capital. So when Indonesian military invaded my country in 1975, at least I'm still around 4 years old at that time. And so then I continue to study from elementary school, then secondary, high school was in Indonesia, Yogyakarta. Then I continue to involve in what we call is the underground movement. We joined the Student National Resistance, which was established by all Timor-Leste students in overseas, especially in Indonesia. Then I joined this organization and trying to promoting Timor-Leste was because of occupied by the Suharto regimes. And so then after that, then I continued and went to university, studying in Indonesia, in Malang, and joined with other Timor-Leste students there. And also, we trying to bring our resistance movement into Indonesia because of when the Suharto military is invaded Timor-Leste. Many Indonesian population they don't aware about for this occupation. So we trying to explaining and campaigning, socializing through the university and cooperate with some student pro-democracy movement in Indonesia. So then because of under pressure by the military, and so then we have some student and youth Timorese in Indonesia, and then we decided to jump over of the fence into some embassy. The first I trying to have seek asylum through the Australian embassy.
Okay.
And so I stayed at the Australian embassy with the other 9 colleagues for almost 2 months. But finally, because of not admit our asylum, so then we left the embassy. Then we continue to have a clandestine, what we call clandestine movement in Jakarta, and continue to do some demonstration against the military occupation. So then finally, then we and with some colleagues, we jump over into the Spanish embassy again for seek asylum and spend almost 2 weeks at the Spanish embassy. And but finally, Spanish would communicate with the Portuguese government, and Portuguese was accepted us to asylum in Portugal.
Okay.
So then we all went to Portugal. Myself, I spent almost 3 or 1 month in Portugal. Then I decided to join the other solidarity group for who are supporting Timor-Leste independence based in England. So in England, we trying to cooperate, especially the church, because you know that Timor-Leste is a small country, and the West, they well not much know about Timor-Leste. We trying to cooperate through the church in England and cooperate with them how to explaining our current situation and to the people of England, and trying to put pressure on for the British government to not to sell and the weapons and ammunition, equipments, and money to Suharto regime, because those of this money they utilize to exterminate for Timor-Leste people. So finally was we and with some priests in England, especially I'm based in Liverpool.
Okay, yep.
Then we occupied one of the British aircraft, the biggest manufacturer British produced in Preston, England. So we trying to jump over into to smash the airlines there, but we was arrested and put us in prison in Preston. And some priests, some solidarity groups, and other Timor-Leste, around 6 students, and we joined together for this protest. Then after that, then I continue with my studies in England. Finally, I finished my master's degree in development studies in England.
Oh.
So then after Timor-Leste, finally Timor-Leste was get independence, then I decided to went back home and to develop the countries.
Excellent. Wow. It seemed like a really exciting, non-exciting life, really intense first few years of your life.
For sure.
And now look at you now, an ambassador. Congratulations and well done to get to as far as you did. So now that you're based in Cambodia as ambassador, how are the relations? How are the relationships between Timor-Leste and Cambodia?
Well, I was so lucky. I'm never in my dream to be ambassador to this beautiful country, Cambodia. So, but finally, because of my leaders and the government, they assigned me. That then they decided that will send me to be ambassador of Timor-Leste to the Kingdom of Cambodia. But I know the history for the Cambodia because of the Pol Pot regime. So with under Pol Pot regime and used to they killing million of people, and we used to join some monk activists in England also as well.
Okay.
We cooperate. We also join demonstration and condemn the Pol Pot, the barbaric Pol Pot regime in Cambodia, and also the other way around. They also supported sympathetic and to support Timor-Leste independence in England. Okay. So then I first started. I arrived here because of COVID pandemic in 2020. The 25th of February, I arrived here and the country started lockdown.
No.
So because by His grace, God blessing, because of Cambodia also there is a COVID, but not much high number affected at the times, and so comparing to other members of Asian countries. So I was a little bit lucky then here. Then I started carry on my mission. Then I trying to on call with the all the ministers, Prime Minister and His Excellency, His Majesty. But while I waiting to present in my letter of credential, because of His Majesty King is not in town, the country, then I was based on Cambodian Constitution. I presented my letter of credence to the Samdach Bible Sena, the President of Senate, as the acting president. So then I start to on call with the Prime Minister and all the ministers. So then I carry on my activity. I have some working visit to more than 10 province already. Working visit to meet, especially the first I visited to one province is called Swiren province. Is close to the Vietnam and Bawet, and I met His Excellency Governor there. He's a very warm welcome, and they all knew about Timor-Leste. So then I visit some area of special economic zones there, and to see how such Cambodia is for a fastest economic growth within 20 years old or 20 years because of Cambodia also is a post-conflict country, but is an amazing country for Cambodian great transformation. So I visited some garment in Swiren and also for some hotel casinos and everything. And I discussed with the governor how this province and trade relation between this province to the other side country, the crossing border, and so it was impressive. His Excellency Governor explaining to me that is quite, especially they export goods to the Vietnam side. Daily they can export almost around 500 containers daily base. It's quite amazing. It's a very positive, quite very big. So this is a good, and we discussing, and the future can we can have a sister city. For example, because in Timor-Leste we also sharing border with Indonesia. And it's good to be the good Tunsian can have a Timor-Leste for lesson and learn between exchange between sister city between two provinces or something with Timor-Leste. And I visited the other province, Sihanoukville, Siem Reap, meet the governor, and Kendal, Kampot, Battambang, and the other more, and now plan to visit another province and something. That's why is during the COVID period I'm here, and so carry on my mission here. But one thing is I'm very proud for impressive to Cambodian, especially the Samdach Daitu Prime Minister Hussein. So one of for my opinion, I follow the history of Cambodia. I think I used to talk to the people of Cambodia in the rural area, even in the provinces. I think it's people of Cambodia. I'm not interfere anything in this country, but based on the history, as I seen, that is you have to thanks to the Samdach Daitu Prime Minister Hussein. He is one of I call is a miracle. Can only very few leader for such as like experiences civil war in this country, Cambodia can able to brought the peace to this country. And today Cambodia is a great transformation. As my president, I quoted for my president is always is saying during his state visit, he's mentioned that is we heard about for China miracle, like under Deng Xiaoping, and Malaysian miracle under Mahathir, and also the Singapore under Lee Kuan Yew, but the world cannot overlook Cambodia today for its great transformation. That is all my mission here, and I believe because it's Cambodian people, they are very warm, welcome, and very friendly.
Yeah.
And so you can travel anywhere you go, very peaceful, no any violence, and they are all welcoming. And so because it's Cambodia and Timor-Leste, we have share a similar history.
Yes. Yeah.
We are also as a post-conflict country. Cambodia is a post-conflict country. And Cambodia as even the victims is even more than 2 million was slaughtered by the barbaric regime of Pol Pot. Not only this, an experience of the Vietnam War, because Cambodia is battlegrounds, and we all the victims of the Cold War.
Yeah.
So, but Cambodia able to get out from this situation, and Cambodia today is become a role model for the all post-conflict country. If can be compared to Latin America or Africa or even in Southeast Asia. So there is a good example for other country to follow Cambodia, because it's Cambodia achievement for economic growth. When the total peace in 98, within 20 years, the economy is more than 7%, is a miracle. Is a miracle. So that's why I love this country so much, because it's we come with a difficult situation and long conflict. It's not easy. It's difficult. Some history also in some African country or same, but Cambodia a little bit different because of you come with the civil war, and you can brought all these people come for to have a not easy to healing the wound. And reconcile with the all component from different factions come together, and then they united to develop Cambodia. That is how it's Cambodia today.
That's correct. And like you said, in such a short time, I mean, the Prime Minister has been, Hun Sen has been Prime Minister for 38 years, but it's mainly in the last 20 years where he's actually grown and brought the people back to a family, you know, as a safe country. And like you said, we can walk around and we can feel safe in such a country which was war-ridden only 30, 40 years ago, wasn't as safe. And to see that, you're right, it's a miracle. And we can see the changes. So also the relationship you have with your president, I notice, is a very special one too, because he came to Cambodia last year, President Hota, and signed a couple of MOUs, and also for the future to be able to travel easier from Timor-Leste back to Cambodia. How was the trip with the president coming here to Cambodia last year?
Well, for the president, Jose Ramos Horta official visit to Cambodia it was extremely fantastic.
Yeah.
My president is very honored and very happy for the warm welcome by the Cambodian government during His Excellency state visit. So there is a way, because his President Jose Ramos Horta is not only just by after the second time His Excellency become a president, but even the first time in 2007 he is elected as a president, and around 2011 official visited to Cambodia already. And also after when 2012 His Excellency no more president, he continued to visit Cambodia because he always explaining that is a Cambodia is a very important country because we need to learn a lot from Cambodia, from especially for the post-conflict country and the rich history of this Cambodian country, this Cambodia. So that's why His Excellency is visited for Cambodia such 4 or 5 times already. So when he elected already in last 2002, and His Excellency decided and informed to me when I met in Dili, Timor-Leste, that is I plan to come and visit Cambodia. Cambodia as a ASEAN chair. It's very important to talk about for the application of Timor-Leste accessing to be member of ASEAN. Well, this is very successful state visit. So because of His Excellency also as a witness and our Minister of Foreign Affairs representing the other 2 relevant ministers and sign 2 very important MOU. Is for especially one to export rice from Cambodia to Timor-Leste, and also ASA agreement, air service agreement. Because when we talk why we have to, this is very important for Timor-Leste to have signed this ASA agreement, because Cambodia is a very strategic partners between Timor-Leste. So when we talk about to exchange people to people, we need to about cooperation area of tourism and other sectors is important. We need to have a connecting flight first.
Yes.
If no connecting flight, you cannot exchange people to people.
Exactly.
Of course, it's difficult. And because Cambodia is a middle. Cambodia is not like in Singapore in the main road of all the flight or something like that. And Cambodia a little bit in the middle. That's why it's hard for Cambodia people. They have to transit in Singapore or then Pasar in Indonesia, then continue travel to Timor-Leste. It's hard for them, and it will be cost more money.
Of course,
So that's why we discuss with His Excellency Minister of Civil Aviation, and also how we can to have an MOU between 2 countries. So then we sign it already. So hope for within this year, 2023, we can have a start to direct flight.
Okay, excellent.
Can be Phnom Penh, Bangkok, Dili, Timor-Leste. And then we can from because it's many Thailand also in Timor-Leste, and some China also in Timor-Leste, can be some of them they can flight make it easy from Cambodia. Phnom Penh can be as a center, transit here, then go to China. China can go to other part or other provinces of China like Guangzhou and Shanghai or any other provinces to facilitate it for the people can to travel easily. So that is our main objective to sign this, and also very important because rice is very important. Because we've been desired to buy the rice from Cambodia. But because of pandemic, then we delayed. But finally, when state visited by our president, and my president also is very keen. We have to buy the rice from Cambodia for our food security. And then we never know the world situation, currently the world situation about the economic inflation all over the world. So that is important. We have to do it is upcoming soon by 2023.
Okay. So there were two very important and major signatures on the MOUs. I mean, like you say, for the aviation is especially a bigger one because it could open up between the two countries, like you say, through China and Bangkok that have come from Cambodia. So you're opening up the Southeast Asia, basically, to the door between the two countries. And it'd be amazing.
Yes.
Last year, when the president here, I had the privilege to meet him, and such a gentleman as well, in a short time, and get a chance to interview him. How's things going with him back at home now in Timor-Leste?
Well, Timor-Leste current situation now is normal. We are not affected COVID. We had a COVID, but not much. Because our government was also very tight for to have a closed door.
Yep.
Because if we are a small population, if we are failed to handle COVID pandemic, it will be disaster for our population. Yep. So, but by the God blessing, and our government is also very successful to handle it. And one is very impressive. Cambodia is one of the just post-conflict country, and also they face a difficult situation, but they have a small country, Cambodia, like this is, but a very big heart. One of Cambodia who are some countries just only talking about for the rhetoric in South-South cooperation, but Cambodia is one of the post-conflict country. They implemented this South-South cooperation, and by some that's like to Hussein during the COVID period, they offer from his solidarity, and they send in 2 aircraft, Cambodian Airways, for equipment, for sanitizer, mask, before and sanitizer and mask, and send it to Cambodian aeroplane. Then brought to Timor-Leste, delivery in Timor-Leste.
Oh,
yeah, the first time in the history. First time in the history.
Oh,
and also some other country like Australia, especially neighboring country, they also support in Timor-Leste in order to tackle the COVID situation in Timor-Leste, and some other country also as well. China, US,
yes, yeah.
some country they are also supported Timor-Leste. That is I'm very proud and impressive, same as like my government and also the president. Because of Cambodia, we never imagined such as like a Cambodia can support in this for during pandemic situation, and even they also Cambodia itself also they face a difficult situation as well, but they sharing their love to even neighboring country, to Laos, Nepal, even Vietnam, including Timor-Leste. So I thanks to Cambodian government and the people of Cambodia for their good heart and during the pandemic in 2021. Yeah.
Now, speaking of COVID, so you basically have said that the Prime Minister had done a great job of handling it. So what do you think, in your words, how well did he handle Cambodia during the pandemic?
Well, such as imagine, this is a top priority for how the Cambodian government, also one of the country in the world who are very successful to handle this pandemic. The number of people died, but not much, even under 5,000 people. And until today, situation for COVID situation in Cambodia is very stable. The number of cases is now is 0, if I am not wrong. Then no more people died because of pandemic, and is One thing is important because it's Cambodia after the pandemic now is starting for the many thousand of foreigners now started come and visit Cambodia. So is contributed for the Cambodian economy. Now is Cambodia is based on the World Bank ADB index, that is Cambodian economy is now is survival and back to grow around 6.5 in 2023. So that is a very impressive achievement for Cambodia. So because of Prime Minister leadership, whether you like or not, this is because of his Samdach Prime Minister Hun Sen is because of his visionary and with his government all successful come to this achievement.
Correct. And of course, as we know, the ASEAN Summit was held here in Cambodia last year with the Prime Minister Hun Sen being the chairman. And for 10 years ago, Timor-Leste applied to become part of the ASEAN group. And it's taken you this long. And last year, you were accepted as a principal member. And also the Prime Minister was one behind who backed it and pushed for you to join the ASEAN family. Explain to us the difference between being in principle member and then a full member, because you still have a few things you need to complete before you become a full member.
Well, for this ASEAN achievement under Cambodian chairmanship, I think I'm very very proud for Cambodian under the leadership of Prime Minister Hun Sen, because of Cambodia been very active, very vocal for supporting Timor-Leste to be 11 member of ASEAN. Timor-Leste, we submitted for our formal application in 2011 during the under chairmanship of Indonesia. The president was SBY. So then we continue and we waiting for to be a member of ASEAN. It's already around 11 years. So, but because of under Cambodian chairmanship, is Samdach Daitu Prime Minister is very committed, been socializing and discussing with other 9 members of ASEAN, and then finally come with the consensus. That is a principal admitted Timor-Leste as a 11 member of ASEAN. This is a very fantastic achievement, and also as we call as a good for in Timor-Leste history, and a good for to be a legacy of the people of Cambodia, especially Samdach Daitu Prime Minister, and because we have 3 important to be approved our application to be 11 member ASEAN is 3 pillars. One is a political security community pillars, and cultural, social cultural community, and also economic community pillar. So we completed in 2019 in for the political security already. So then because of been delayed because of COVID-19, and then under Cambodian chairmanship, Cambodia start to pushing and working hard to complete other 2 two pillars. Then the fact-finding mission was went to Timor-Leste, and last year in 2022 in July, then totally completed. Then by the summit, they come together with all the head of other member of ASEAN. So because of me, God blessing, then some country will continue for Timor-Leste to be continue to have our capacity building or something like that. But Cambodia itself always Prime Minister say that is a very good analogy. That is allow Timor-Leste to jump into the water first. If not allow them to jump into the water, how do you know that whether he can swim or not?
Or swim or sink.
Yeah. So that is a very good analogy from some Dutch right to Prime Minister. But this is all the achievement. So as an ambassador of Cambodia and Timor-Leste, Cambodia is a chair of ASEAN achievement for admitted Timor-Leste in principle as a 11 member of ASEAN. My government, my president, they are all welcome for ASEAN finally admitted for Timor-Leste as a 11 member of ASEAN. So I will say that is a Timor-Leste is a geographically part of this region. And then this is God created. No one can remove Timor-Leste from these regions. Association is different things. But now we admitted already as a member of association. So some people still thought that is a Timor-Leste still need to access and to win. We 11 member already is admitted in principle. So in order to become a full member of ASEAN, our government is committed to cooperate with the ASEAN Council to fulfill some technical thing to be a full membership. It's under Indonesia. That what we call before admitted is 11 member of ASEAN. I used to say that is a merit in Cambodia, then the party will in Jakarta. So this is what kind of I don't know how to say the special words, but from my bottom of my heart, on behalf of the people of Timor-Leste and the government and my own name, I address my great gratitude for people of Cambodia, especially Sam Dats to Prime Minister, His Majesty's King, and all 9 members of ASEAN. So this is very important for this Timor-Leste accession in the ASEAN. Is good for in the future. Can be more people can come because ASEAN is one of very important in this region. Is if I am not wrong, is a 4th or 5th largest economy in the world.
That's correct, yeah.
It's around 700 million population. And it's a very important market. And also Timor-Leste can join this opportunity for we can increasing our Timor-Leste for human resources in order to compete with other 10 members of ASEAN. And we can have a good opportunity to increase in our economy. And that is we are Timor-Leste, we are very heavily much depend on our petroleum fund, oil and gas. So, and now we're going to plan for our government very committed to diversify our economy for to other like a tourism sector. We need to establish our special economic zones, manufacturing industry in order to employ for the local people. That is very important and in the future because our president also very keen. We can right now our petroleum fund was in the U.S. Treasury bond. We can spend some of that money into this region, and ASEAN can more benefit for this region as well. So let's see for then upcoming this year, and we are committed to develop our country, and hopefully under Indonesian chairmanship, we believe that is all the 10 members of ASEAN country can committed to provide the capacity building, because it's recently also Singapore itself is already approved to provide for capacity building around 300 Timorese can be Singapore, and so, and also my president and government also very is desire for Cambodia can advocating for Timor-Leste for the process to be full membership of ASEAN, and providing capacity building to refreshing all our diplomat, and also can other relevant minister like the area of agriculture, tourism. We can preparing more human resources, and also Timor-Leste side we are committed to preparing for more infrastructure. We need to have create a better condition. Our international airport we started to going to build is quite not a very big airport, but it's going to be a good conditions for the big aviation can come to visit Timor-Leste, fly into Timor-Leste, and also we have a very big international port already launching, and we started soon for our offshore oil, Greater Sunrise, from is going to pipe into Timor-Leste, and we can develop our industry of oil in Timor-Leste. That is important for our Timor-Leste economy, because after we joining ASEAN is important for we have to our preparing our strong economic foundation for the future.
Yeah. And also one of my favorite exports which you're pushing is your coffee as well.
For sure.
I think it's one of the nicest coffees going around.
Well, yeah, so and now we plan our coffee, Timor-Leste coffee is is a very famous coffee in the world. It's Arabica, and we starting the largest exporting coffee to Washington, US, and now is if you want for drink Timor-Leste coffee, you can just go to Starbucks, anywhere Starbucks all over the world. You can ask Timor-Leste coffee, they provide Timor-Leste coffee, and then we are planning for to exchange our trade between Cambodia, bilateral trade between Cambodia and Timor-Leste. We try to Cambodia can import rice, and we export coffee to Cambodia, because many Cambodian young girls and men, they all love to drink coffee right now, and everywhere you travel you see all the coffee shops is full of Cambodia. They are not foreigners, but they are Cambodian local people. So it is a good market for Cambodia as well, and we need to and now is to plant more for a new coffee. Then it's good for us to exporting more in the future. Yeah.
So being an Asian in principle means you can attend to Asian meetings but not vote. So you can know more and kind of you're official but just not able to vote.
Well, yeah, I think it's a very important for this is the important is ASEAN 10 members is recognized already as our application for been almost 11 years. That is 11 years and admitted by 11 of November.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 11 of November. 11 of November, then 11 years. then 11-11.
11-11. Wow.
Yeah, and admitted in Cambodia. Then we can prepare more our condition as well. Is a good because it's Timor-Leste can already attend for all the plenary, all the meetings, participate, and while at the same times we can preparing. Is like an adjustment for our Timorese can to attend in all these meeting. They vote hopefully for when you become a full member, then you have right to vote. But it's a good opportunity for when you attend the meeting because of all the 10 members of ASEAN country. If the summit dialogue partners will come from US, China, from all over the world, and then you can have a bilateral meeting with all your dialogue partner at the summit or any event held by ASEAN Secretariat. Is a good chance, very good opportunity. I truly believe that this is a good for us for to attend in this meeting. Then we can fulfill for the roadmap, then become a full memberships. But some people still thought that is Timor-Leste is not 11 member yet, but is in principle already admitted. Is married already.
Well, engaged, ready to be married, basically, isn't it?
Basically,
Exactly.
engagement here.
Exactly.
So then it's a good, it's a very good. That's why people of Timor-Leste and government and all our historical leaders, like Sanana Gusmao is one of our prominent leader. The leader who have great leader of national reconciliation. So an important who are led after we break away from Indonesia, who are led all the leader in Timor-Leste and also people of Timor-Leste to have a national reconciliation and international reconciliation. We accepted and forgive Indonesian military who are involved in the perpetrate atrocity in Timor-Leste. We forgive all. We close the all chapters. They open a new page. The one of our relationship with Indonesia right now is quite a good example to the world. Our border is very safety between Indonesia and Timor-Leste. No any cross-firing between Indonesian military or police within Timor-Leste. They are, when they meet on the border, they consider us as a brother and sister. So that is fantastic achievement for Timor-Leste because of our historical leader, Sanana Gusmao. And they also our other leader such as Mari Alcateri and also Jose Ramos Horta and our former guerrilla fighter like current Prime Minister Taur Matan Ruak and also other leader like Lere Anand Timor. All have a committed that is no other choice. We have to reconcile with Indonesia. We have to forget the past and looking for the future.
Like you said, you've closed one chapter and now you open up another. Being part of the ASEAN is open up many doors for Timor-Leste and showing the world that you're here. You're part of the world
for
as
sure,
well.
yeah,
and
for sure.
Congratulations
Thank you.
on this.
Thank you.
And I'm sure you played a big part this year being an ambassador for Timor-Leste in Cambodia. So you would have worked harder, closer with the government here, especially with the Prime Minister, to make sure things went smoothly.
And Hun Manet as well. Yeah. Hun Manet as well.
Well, Hun Manet, well, yes, that's correct. He's the son, which, of course, might lead to my next question. We have elections here this year in July, and as we know, the Prime Minister has been Prime Minister of Cambodia for 38 years as sole Prime Minister, but in total in Parliament for 43. and I had the privilege of covering the Songkran elections last year. Spoke to a lot of observers. I observed a lot of things myself as a journalist, and things went so smoothly. There was no problems, anything else. But it's also mentioned, and the Assembly's also voted Hun Manet to be the next Prime Ministerial party leader. How do you think he would be as a Prime Minister?
Well, I think it's the first because it's based on it's not the secret information. It's already on the media, and Prime Minister himself is already declared in the publicly declared that is some Dutch Prime Minister wanted to rest and to transfer him as a Prime Minister to the next generation.
That's correct, yeah.
For my point of view, for Prime Minister Hun Sen led this country as a Prime Minister for 38 years. I think for my point of view, Samdat is only 20 years as a Prime Minister when Cambodia came into total completed peace in Cambodia. Because when you become Samdat's Prime Minister, become a Prime Minister around 85, you know Cambodian situation.
Yes.
Cambodia is still a war because of the Khmer Rouge military not defeated yet, because they withdraw and concentrate and still dominate in some, concentrate in some camp and in the border of Thailand and keep fighting. Something is and then Samdat's Prime Minister, not Prime Minister for to rule in the country, not to develop the country, but Prime Minister to resolve the war. So this is how we have to understood this history of the journey of some Dutch Prime Minister. So then in 1998, total Cambodia achieved for the Paris Peace Agreement. Then after UN withdrew, then Cambodia prolonged war until 1998. So then they reconciled, integrated all the last Cambodian, the Khmer Rouge soldiers come into reconciliation and sharing power. What we call is a win-win policy. So for this, I think it's because of some Dutch also consider that it's not because of being long 30 years as a Prime Minister, the way I see it, but because of it's getting older. Maybe some Dutch Prime Minister need to give a chance, which Hun Manet was nominated by the ruling party, CPP, all the nominated for the majority and supported for Hun Manet to be the next candidate of Prime Minister. I think is a very important, because I've been as an ambassador, I organized for when President Jose Ramos Horta when visited his official visit to here, and Hun Manet also courtesy call to the President of Jose Ramos Horta, and my President also after the discussion, my President also very impressive to him. Is quite a young leader, but very visionary, very intelligent. My President, that is congratulations for you if you chance for the next you to be running as a next Prime Minister, and is a good for the country. I think it's not difficult for Hun Manet, because it's he got some experiences, especially in the West and the military academy in the US and also in London, England, and then been involved in such a many organizations in Cambodia. The way I see, because I'm as an ambassador, I always follow His Excellency's activity, and I believe that is because of Samdech Raichu Prime Minister, when he's resigned, the time come to resign, give an opportunity to the next leader of CPP, is Hun Manet, as a strong candidate now to replace Samdech Raichu Prime Minister. I think Cambodia continue to be more stable because of Samdech Raichu Prime Minister also not automatically totally hand over, still come to the institution of the party. The party is quite a many potential in the party can to adopt the program or policy to implement and in order to serving these people. And so my congratulations once again and to for the Hun Manet, and congratulate to Samdech Prime Minister, because he's have a desire to give an opportunity to the next young leader in this country. As a young leader, I'm also proud because I am also not very old. Still young as well.
Still young,
Yes, and then be
yes.
proud of the young leader and he's very good communication. His Excellency Hun Manet, very low profile. The way I see when we meet in anywhere, always His Excellency say hello to everybody, including myself as well. So then I am very proud of him, and is hopefully for the upcoming for His Excellency Hun Manet become a Prime Minister. I know that is Cambodia for the next 10 or 15 years become have a giant economy in this Southeast Asia. Same as like what is Singapore down it before, Malaysia, and then Cambodia also become a tiger economy in this world.
So for my last question, what is the future for you as the ambassador? What's your goals?
Yes, so as an ambassador is normally the term is it depends because I am a political appointee. So now my term is already 3 years. Normally as an ambassador in outside country, in anywhere in the country, it's all ambassador is a mission is normally is sometimes 4 years, sometimes 5 years. Yes. Some ambassador 7 years, 10 years, some.
Ambassador, I think 12 years is it?
Yeah, so one of my ambassador, Timor-Leste ambassador, the longest ambassador in Australia.
Oh, you call Australia home now.
Yeah, and for 10 years.
Yeah, wow.
For 10 years, and so it depends, much depend on the capital. So we will see, and also because of this year, we're going to have a parliamentary election, same as like Cambodia also going to have an election. Timor-Leste also the same, going to have an election, and we will see we hope for the Cambodian next election coming will be peaceful, will free and fair elections to people, up to the people. People can decide who is the better party for them, better leader for the people. Yes. Which one they want, then they can vote for to serving the people. Same as like Timor-Leste also as well. We have the same fate as Cambodia. Cambodia will be election in next June. Timor-Leste now we waiting, possibly will be by the May, and Cambodia also by June. So, and I pray for people of Cambodia, hopefully successful for this next upcoming election, and to bring more country to be strong, country to be more democratic country, country to be a more development and their economy, and achieve the peaceful achievement. Then the international people, more international people can come to visit Cambodia.
Much appreciated. Over the last few months, we've become quite good friends now, and I appreciate all the help and advice you've given me over the last couple of months, and continue our friendship further down the track. And thank you very much for your time today.
So-
And good luck to your future.
Thank you. Before the finish, I would like to address thank you for especially you, Anthony, and AEC television, all the staff and camera men and everybody, and you have been contributed and helping Timor-Leste, promoting Timor-Leste to the Cambodia and also to this region and also the world. And you are my president also very happy because of you are one of them. His Excellency state visit here. You are one of the met the press. You are one who chaired the press and dialogue with the president. That is such a very historic moment for yourself, I think.
Yes.
And also, thank you for you being cooperation with me, and thank you for coming to have an interview with me and to promote in Timor-Leste to the world.
Yes.
And thank you very much indeed. Akun Sran.
Thank you. So there you have it, the ambassador to Timor with a great length of talking about the close relationship with the Prime Minister, also praising the Prime Minister, how a miracle that a man that he had been and what he's done for Cambodia, and the relationship between Timor-Leste and Cambodia, also helping and push for Timor-Leste to become a ASEAN member. There was a lot of praise between the ambassador, how he praised his president at the time, how they've helped, and also spoke about where he come from as a person to become to the position now. Thank you for watching. I'm Anthony Ellis. This is EAC Insight.